Greetings, Zenith friends. This is your host, ET. I thought I would get on and share a little bit about Eclipse season and Eclipse portal. Historically, this is a time of transition of power, okay? In the ancient times, the ancient people were very cautious during this particular time and would often take their leaders and hide them, put them in an underground bunker or some kind of hiding place and replace them with a dummy. Because notoriously, when the sun is darkened, when the moon is darkened, there is assassinations happening. There is the civilians, the people of the kingdom have unrest. You know, there is turmoil, there is conflict, and a lot of the shadows of the collective are coming to the forefront, you know, which can be seen in the shadows of the eclipses. So, you know, historically, just looking, you know, historically, this is what has occurred. And so this is why this period or this astrological sign is such a touchy subject. Now, if we look just in the past half year or year, you know, we can see some powerful transformation. In fact, the last eclipse marked the passing of the Queen of England, right? So once again, that was the head of a very powerful system and still is. But that marks an entire new transition, an entire transformation, a changing of the guards, a changing of power. You know, if we go back a year ago during the eclipse season, which we're in right now, we're in the eclipse portal. It's the time, really it's around the whole time period, but from one eclipse to another, the eclipse on October 14th and the next one coming on the next full moon. I don't know the exact date in my head at this moment, but it's around Halloween. It's around Samhain, if not on it. Lost my train of thought. So yeah, the transformation occurs during this entire time period, but it is most potent, it is felt most deeply, and it is most heightened from one eclipse to the next. So during that period, which is now, you know, this is what's known as the eclipse portal. So lots of things happen. You know, like I was saying, if we go back even a year ago, the shootings that took place in Uvalde, Texas, that was on eclipse. That was the eclipse, right, of the soul, the eclipse of the heart, of the mind. And what is even more interesting and goes even deeper is the fact that that shooter at Uvalde was also born on an eclipse. You know, so historically, astrologically, we can see this as a very powerful time of civil unrest. You know, even the last eclipse really emphasized, not this month, but, you know, 6 months ago, really emphasized the human rights, the women's rights reality. I don't even want to say movement, but the reality of women's rights in the Middle East. You know, so it's just a lot of what has been buried, a lot of what is in the shadow realm, the subconscious, the unconscious realms are coming to the forefront during eclipse season. Another powerful and true characteristic of this time is that it is such a potent catalyst for transformation within our personal lives. You know, just to go into a little personal experience and detail, the eclipse of 2021 rocked me so hard. In the spring of 2021, early summer, late spring, I think it was like May. That was such a powerful portal and transition for me. I literally moved across the country on a drop of a hat. Like, I didn't even plan it. It wasn't, I was cozy where I was. I loved my home. I loved where I lived. Blood moon happened. A lot of shit went down. People went crazy. Maybe I was one of those people. But anyway, the point is that during Eclipse portal, anything can happen. Like, this is such a powerful time of transformation. And so it's a good thing to remember and to like back yourself up with the electional astrological traffic or what's going down to assist you in your transformation, to assist you in what it is you're calling in, to assist you in your path. And a lot of times this happens unexpectedly or in ways that are beyond our control. We can control one thing, and that is our response, our reaction, our self. We can't control the eclipse that will occur in a week, but we can control the way that we respond, what we do, how we set ourselves up, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I just wanted to get on here and share a little bit about eclipses, how they literally rock society. Even during this one we've had now, we've seen an explosion of concern and things happening in the Middle East once again, so, and I would also say that the elites know this, and, a lot of government false flag things or, higher orchestrated catastrophes that are meant to call the public into action or sway them in an emotional way, because when you're acting emotionally, you're not thinking logically, so you're easily manipulated. You're more easily manipulated if your emotions are involved. I mean, I think we can all relate to that in our love relationships, in our experiences with partnership. But when people are caught in their emotions, it's like fight or flight. They don't have time to rationalize, to think, to logically, consider what's actually going down. You're much more easily manipulated to do something because you're in that rush mode. You're in that, all I see is white light. I'm acting off of instinct, survival, fight or flight kind of thing. So the powers that be really do utilize astrology, electional astrology. Like, trust me, there is some powerful astrologers there that are, helping to orchestrate the master plan. But when you are privy to it, when you can see it, then it starts to no longer take such a hold on you, and you can kind of start to see through a lot of the circus, a lot of the theatrics behind, false flags or things that are maybe not rooted in the full truth. Things that, it's really simple. It's just propaganda, and it's been happening for thousands of years. And unfortunately, society, because we're very much in our pleasure-seeking modes, and it's easier for us to be comfortable. It's easier for us to, pretend that darkness doesn't exist so that we can just stay complacent. Most of the world is that way, and they will continue to be, and therefore that's how you can get away with all of the things that you're getting away with, because of the general populace being, all you have to give them is food, sex, money, entertainment, and then it's like you've controlled their entire life. But to bring an entire populace into, we want a war in the Middle East, then we've got to bomb 9/11. We've got to give them a reason. We've got to create some kind of false flag that is going to mobilize and emotionally stimulate the population to say, yes, we want war. We've got to take down these weapons of mass destruction. Whatever the propaganda is, it's typically most wars, if not all of them, are entered into through the persuasion of a catastrophic, cataclysmic event that motivates the populace to believe in a certain cause. Now, I'm not saying it's true or untrue, but I am saying this is how you manipulate a nation into supporting your war. You know? So that's how it's done. And eclipse season is a perfect time to orchestrate something like that. And I will go on to say that this next eclipse, the lunar eclipse in Western astrological Taurus, is going to be a little more intense than the solar eclipse that happened on 10/14/2023. So, just a little Zenith update. It's been a while since I made a video. I want to make more and more and more and, bring value to everyone in the best way and aligned way that I can without forcing it. Thank you everyone who's been reaching out and sending positive feedback and, encouragement. I really appreciate you. Words of affirmation are definitely my love language. So thank you. Send all your love to me in the comments. Subscribe to this channel. Book an astrology reading with me. And if you want me to be, an intimate part of your reality to help you, build whatever business it is or come into a better relationship with yourself so that you can attract better relationships. Or if you would like my assistance in coming into a better relationship with yourself in terms of health and wellness, which is really the foundation for all good things in life. You can have all the money in the world, but it doesn't mean anything if you don't have your health, right? Health is wealth. That is number one to manifest anything you wish to desire. So I'm available for life coaching. And through that process, if you're interested, set up a call with me. You can send me a message through social media. I'm Star Ranger on Facebook. I also have Zenith Mystery School Facebook page, as well as Zenith Mystery School Instagram page. Shoot me a message through there and we can get on a call and see if we are a good fit to work together. I would just say that whatever it is you wish to build or create or manifest in your life, health is the pillar. It's the cornerstone of all of that. So, what's the point in attracting a relationship if you can't maintain it? Or if you can't maintain a healthy relationship with yourself, chances are you are not going to be able to do that with another human or a plant or an animal. So anyway, happy eclipse. You guys take care, be aware, don't fall for the propaganda. There's a lot of it going on. Nothing new under the sun. It's just how we manipulate people and get them to join our cause. We've got an entire country believing X, Y, Z, and so they're willing to die for X, Y, Z, when in reality, what we're doing is ABC. And no one will ever know that until way after the fact, but we can just call them conspiracy theorists because then, it's just really simple, guys. It's just getting really easy. And I think I'm going to go on to say that social media has backfired. Why? Because now we all have cameras. Now we all can videotape what's going on. The police are under surveillance. The governments are under surveillance. The people who installed the cameras are now under surveillance. So nothing can be hidden. The sun, the moon, and the truth will come out eventually. Social media has backfired in the sense that we can now get our news out, get our message out across the world, even though it is also being used to get everyone on the same page as far as manipulation, control, propaganda, and lies that are being broadcasted through news agencies and through the political happenings and whatever of the world. Just look at these crazy pedophilia human traffickers that are getting away with, a tap on the wrist for crimes against humanity. And that is also true with Bill Gates and Fauci and all of these people. You know, and some of us are not fooled, and the wonderful thing is we have it all documented. And in the way, and the good part about the AI revolution of what's happening is that we all have access to information. We can all research, you know. In the age of information, ignorance is a choice. That's really what it is. And if you really believe the narrative on every single little thing, then you're part of the problem. You're also showing us how powerful and effective the powers that be actually be. You know, so it's a big process, and it's hard for people who went their whole life thinking one thing, and it turns out reality is the inverse of that. You know, it's really hard, man. It takes time to process and integrate, and you know, you can only do it for little bits at a time. You know, so don't overwhelm yourself. However, nowadays there's enough information out there for you to be educated on very important matters that have to do with the well-being of the world and your own health, as well as the future generations. You know, so at this point, if you believe what's on television, if you believe what's on the news, if you believe the agenda that they're pushing upon you, then unsubscribe to this channel, go away, you know, do us a favor, and you know, or rather, I would rather just say thank you. How about just thank you for showing us all what we need to get away from? You know, so anyway, a little rant on the reality and the state of affairs of what we're actually experiencing. Another thing is that it's just a classic way, you know, in the art of war, if we want to take down an enemy, what a better way to do that? Is there a better way to do that than to get the enemy to fight itself? If we can divide and conquer, it's a lot easier. If we can get an entire army worried about transphobia or gay rights or what else, Israel or Palestine, you know, vax or no vax, mask or no mask, racism, you know, black people versus white people, you know, Trump versus Biden, any of it. If we can get people divided, if we can get this country divided in a way that we're bickering amongst ourselves on shit that is fucking pointless, and just divide, like, literally, families are being split up. My family is now not together. My family, you know, it is such an orchestrated brilliance. And I have to say this as a victim. I don't really believe I'm a victim. But as a victim of the orchestration of the past 3 years, you know, it's literally destroyed families. Your political views will, like, separate you from your own. People are willing to stand on the side of a politician over their own blood. And I just gotta give it to them. It's like, damn, you guys were successful in this endeavor, and so hats off. Like, it's beautiful the way that you guys did this whole pandemic, and you know, it's really a piece of art. I just have to step back and be like, damn, that was good. Even though I never fell for it, or I always knew it was a big facade, let me tell you, it was so difficult to convince others. It was so difficult to convince the people I love